stories published in Jambalaya Magazine and Little Fish, Big Bait. We'll be reading from your piece, Stay on the Boat, which I learned from reading in the little bio, is inspired by a friend's safety briefing before a 2-week ocean passage.
Rule number 1, stay on the boat. Rule number 2, stay on the boat. Rule number 3, always wear your, I'm just kidding, stay on the goddamn boat. Hannah had laughed. The sun was shining and the sea was calm, a glorious day to embark on the last great adventure of her 20s. All that stood between the crew and the open ocean, pure freedom in Hannah's eyes, were a few remaining formalities. I know it sounds obvious, Alice pressed on, but I need to drive this home. Despite her wry smile under Alice's short-cropped, sandy gray hair, her eyes were serious. They say that falling overboard in open water is like jumping out of a plane without a parachute. Do you understand? If you go off the boat, you're as good as dead. 10. Hannah is blinded. Pain racks her chest, all-consuming. Saltwater spews from her nose and mouth. Disoriented, she thrashes her arms and gasps for air. On deck, Alice is shouting. Jamie emerges from the cabin, wild-eyed. What happened? Get the buoy in the water and, here, take the spotlight, Alice orders. Shit, Alice. Holy shit. We have 10 minutes. 9. Hannah doesn't remember the buoyancy aid inflating, but now its reflective plastic digs into her shoulders and presses against her frozen cheeks as the waves drag her skyward into the stormy night air and plunge her down again. Rain and sea foam spatter her from all directions. It's hard to open her eyes, hard to breathe. Her lungs burn. Do you have eyes on her? Jamie wrenches the man overboard buoy from its mount on the guardrail and heaves it into the sea. On contact with the water, the neon yellow device spills orange smoke into the heavy air. Jamie scrambles across the undulating deck, gathering and jettisoning anything that will float. Cushions, a few loose water bottles, a spare life jacket, a bag of bread. At the helm, Alice fights the swell and struggles to point the boat into the wind. Alice, eyes? Not anymore, no. Get the bins from inside. Watch for a light. Jamie dashes back into the cabin. 8. Hannah kicks and spins, eyes darting in search of any sign of the boat, anything other than unbroken waves in every direction. The only thought her cold-shocked mind can muster is, no. Then her gaze alights on her shoulder, where the emergency locator beacon on her buoyancy aid has auto-deployed its little yellow antenna. It emits a blip of green light at regular intervals. She tries to focus on a steady beat and slow her breathing. With the bow in the wind, Alice reactivates the autopilot and clips her buoyancy aid to the lifeline. Jamie bursts back through the cabin doors with a pair of binoculars. The mainsail's jammed, Alice says. I'm going to need to find a way to bring it down. Keep looking. She steps out of the helm station and crouches low, right hand on the guardrail and left hand on the roof of the cabin as she creeps forward across the upper deck toward the mast. The world rolls around her. Jamie stations herself on the back deck, wrapping one arm around a roof pillar to keep steady. The red lights on the man overboard buoy cut through the thick, oppressive murk. The mist muddies her sense of distance, but as she registers how far the current has already dragged the device, a wave of nausea floats her stomach. 7. All is dark, fogged out. The world is unreal. The air is water. The boat is gone. It feels like the dread pooling in Hannah's lungs might drown her before the sea gets a fair chance. Her foul weather gear is already soaked through, stiff and heavy on her limbs. Her body quakes. Up at the mast, Alice heaves on the downhaul. With the torrential rain in her eyes, she can't see a snag anywhere, but the rope in the mainsail won't budge. The boat pitches like a seesaw, and a wall of spray nearly sweeps Alice off her feet as they surf down one wave and bury their bow in the next. She wants to scream. She wants to cry. She wants to fall over and pin her head between her knees and shut it all out. Fuck! She roars back at the storm. All this happening on her watch. funny stories she had heard from friends on forums, in magazines. She never really believed it was possible. Stupid. She bites her lip hard, tastes blood in her mouth, adjusts her grip on the rope, and throws all her weight against it.